Hello, my name is Shannon Gallagher, and I am reaching out today regarding the position of Learning Experience Designer for Science and Math at Prisma. And I'm actually reaching out for a second time. I was fortunate enough to speak to Victoria after the Learning Facilitator position was posted, but this role actually excites me and inspires me even more because I really love creating in the space of math and science. I am passionate about connecting math and science to meaningful and challenging and relevant, inspiring experiences for learners. I have a lot of experience developing project-based learning and inquiry-based units as a coach, as a teacher, as an IB and PYP coordinator, program coordinator, and I really love this work. I find it so inspiring and so connected to the world today. As far as qualifications go, I've been in the world of education for almost 15 years now. I've been a teacher, an instructional coach in a variety of capacities and locations. I've been a program coordinator for the IB, a consultant for math and science, and most recently a content editor of mathematics. I have taught and presented across the globe. I've taught in India, the US, and Ecuador, and I've presented in Thailand, Ecuador, Brazil, the US, and specifically often on topics such as math and inquiry-based learning and project-based learning and really bringing math and science to life. As far as convincing you about how I know to make STEM come alive, I think I could, spend more time speaking to my qualifications, but in my mind, what's more impactful is showing, not telling, and showing you some of the work that I've done in the past. And so I'm going to tell a little story about a unit that took place while I was a teacher in Mumbai. As a second grade teacher, we had grade level NGO partnerships, and our partnership was a school for students in a nearby slum, and they would come visit us a couple times a year, and we would go visit them a couple times a year. And one of those times they were at our school and we were doing freeze dance, and somebody accidentally stepped on a little boy's foot, and the little boy really fell to the floor in pain, and it turned out he had a really badly infected cut, and it was because he had no shoes and it had gotten quite infected, and so that was addressed, but it really made an impact on our second graders. And questions about why they didn't have shoes or what they did for their feet when they got hurt were common after that. So we had a unit coming up, and it was a unit about very influential people, and historically it had been looking at historical influential people. And so I was really driven to rethink that unit and to reimagine how we could make it impactful for our students. So instead of thinking about historical people of the past, we asked our students about how they can be impactful, how they can change the world. And in the beginning, the answers were really about following directions, about listening when you're told to, and things like that. But through a project-based learning unit, we were really able to bring that to life. And by the end, they were talking about things like stopping climate change, because we use science to examine how the impact of creating shoes versus reusing shoes that may be sitting in people's closets, and resources, and how that affects our climate and what that means for people in different areas of the world. And we looked at a lot of data and a lot of calculations, because the students themselves were in charge of organizing and counting and tracking shoes that were coming in, and shoes that they had driven, they had created. This isn't their moms on Facebook, and they organized a school-wide assembly and a school-wide day with no shoes, so that students at our school could feel the impact of the work the students that in our class were doing. So all of that to say, I think that connecting what's meaningful to math and science is a huge opportunity. Beyond that, there are several other units that come to mind. One is as the program coordinator in Ecuador. I worked on a unit with the fourth grade teacher about the impact, with the driving question, what impact can I make on the global water crisis? There were a lot of opportunities for experiments, for design thinking, for organizing math and numbers in a way to draw results and conclusions. And lastly, a school when I was in India was shifting locations, and there are just so many authentic math problems that come from things like that. So I really appreciate this work, and it's something that really drives and excites me. And I truly hope to hear back from Prisma from the role of Learning Experience Designer in Math and Science. Thanks so much.